back to my channel. So I'm gonna change pace a little bit. I know I've been doing some more maybe complicated kind of stuff where in terms we're doing like we're using React, we're making custom Webpack configurations. This time I just want to change pace and just go back to the basics with some vanilla JavaScript. So today we're gonna go over setInterval and setTimeout. So over here I wrote a little introduction to what these things are. So let me actually maximize real estate over here. Okay, so setTimeout is a it will run a function after X amount of time. So you feed your function into setTimeout and you say, hey, I want you to run this function after this amount of time. setInterval is similar but also different. So you also give it a function and you also give it a time. But the thing is that setInterval will run your function after every X amount of time. So it will do that infinitely. So let's see how we can leverage that in our application today. So we want to make a countdown display over here. We want to input some numbers. We want to click start and we want to see it getting counted down from this largest number down to 0. So we got the basic HTML over here. We got a div with the box. We have a button to start and we have the input where we can add our numbers in. So over here in the start number, we are getting the input over here. And now let's just do a quick validation to see whether this is a number or not. So JavaScript has this thing called isNaN where it checks if it's not a number. So we will do input.value. And if it is not a number, we just want to alert, hey, this isn't a number, and we just want to return. And outside, I just want to do, get that number and parse it to an integer, because whatever we get from the DOM is just going to be string. So we just want to change that into something that we can use. We want to change it into an integer type. So we're going to pass it the input.value, and that should be it. So let's save this right now. Let's validate whether it's actually spitting out what we need it to. So text, we click that. Hey, this isn't a number. Let's put in 12, and we click that, and we're not getting that error. So cool. We've got that basic stuff down. So now let's do now the countdown. So we want to get this element, we want to get the box element, and we want to put in our number over in this box element. So let's do that right now. So const box is equal to document.getElement by class name, because that's what we have over there. And then class name returns a collection of HTML elements, so it will be an array. So in this case, I want the first one because that's just going to be the one that I only have one element with the class name box in here. There's not going to be more than one, so I know that's the first one. So we have that, and we want to alter the inner text over here. Let's do inner text is equal to number. Okay, cool. But now we just don't want to set it only once. We want it to set over and over again. So we need to wrap this in a set interval. So again, setInterval is a function that will take it requires a minimum of one parameter, which is the function, and it takes like an unlimited amount over here. But the main ones are your first two. So the first one is your function. So in this case, I'm just going to pass it an anonymous function. And I want to give it a timeout. So, I want to give it a interval time. So in this case, I want it to change every 1 second, every 100 milliseconds to reflect an actual clock. So inside here, I'm just going to move this up. And I am going to add the number to the box. And then I'm going to do number minus over here. So let's save that and let's put 10 over here and see what we get. So I click start and we have 10, 9, 8. So it seems like it's working, right? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. Okay, so we don't want this to happen. We want the interval to stop when it has reached 0. So there's this hack that you can do and just say, hey, if number does not equal to 0, or if number is greater than 0, then I want you to run this function. And this, I'm saying this is a hack because it's not really what you want to do. Let's start off from 5, and let's watch this do this again, and it should read 0 and just stop. Okay, yeah, so it reads 0 and it's not changing it anymore. But the thing is that the set interval is still running in the background. So if we go over here and do console log hey, and we save that, let's put this to 2 and start it, we get hey, hey, hey. This keeps incrementing. This means set interval is running in the background. So we kind of, instead of us just putting this if check outside of this outside of us modifying the box, we want to actually just kill the set interval. And the way you can do that is actually pretty easy. So let's remove all of this. Let's remove this as well, and let's save this. So what set interval actually returns is a number. And let's just put this as const id is equal to this. So what it passes back is the identifier for the set interval in case you want to destroy it at any time. So in this case, what we're going to do is that if number is equal to 0, then I want to stop this interval. So the way I'll do that is I will just do clear interval. So it's just clearing the interval, and we just pass it the ID. So we're passing it the identifier to clear interval, and clear interval will go look up where this interval is and then stop it. And just to verify, we can just do a bunch of console log haze over here, save that, put this for 3 seconds. There we go, 3, 2, 1, 0, and there you go. See, now it stopped completely. We stopped, there's only 4 haze, and it completely stops. So this is exactly what we want. So now let's leverage setTimeout. So after we reach 0, we want this to say, hooray, you have reached the end. So just like set interval takes a function, setTimeout also takes a function. So we'll declare this function outside over here. Will be function finished timeout or timer. And all we're going to do is we are going to get the box again, and we're going to just set the inner text to hooray, you have finished. So hooray, you have finished over here. So I saved that. And now when we want this to say hooray when we've reached the end of our interval. So I'll put it inside here, and I'll say set timeout, and I'm going to pass it the function. Here the function name is finished timer, right? And then the time I'm going to make it wait is another 1 second. And now you're wondering, hey, why don't we do this? This actually executes the function, but we actually just want to pass the function to set timeout. So let's save that, and let's do this again. So let's start off from 5, 4, so we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hooray, you finished. So this is, and you've noticed how it waited another second after that, which is pretty cool. So one thing to note is that you could also have declared this as an anonymous function inside here. So let me just copy this and make this an anonymous function, paste that in, and let me just clean this up a little bit. So this will work too. So I can just delete this. Let me just comment this out and just put this to 2 and put and hit number 2 and hit 2 and hit start, and see it does the same thing. So it depends how you want to structure your code. I think it's better if you keep your function separate from your timeout. Sometimes you can leave it in, sometimes you can. It depends how clean it looks. One thing I want to mention is that setTimeout also returns a number over here. So what if we want to intercept this as well? So let's intercept this number, and let's intercept this timeout from stopping from saying, hooray, we have finished. So the way we can do that is we can make another button over here to initiate the stop. So stop button BTT, and this will just be stop. Let me just change this also. So save that. Console will complain for a little bit, but that is fine. Over here. Okay, so now I want to attach another event listener, and this is called stop timer, and I will just declare this right over here. So function stop timer is a thing, and all I want to do is clear this. I want to intercept this and stop it from running. So the way we can do that is I need an identifier. I need a variable to be shared between this function and this function, and the easiest way to do that is to declare something global. So I'll say let timeout ID is equal to 0, and all I'll do is I will set it over here, and then over in the stop timer I'll just say clear, not clear interval because it's not an interval, it's a timeout. So clear timeout ID. So now let's test this out. So we'll put this for 4 and we'll click start, and let's put our mouse over the stop. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, 0, and I probably missed it right over there. So let's make this a bit bigger so we can intercept it better. So 2, 1, and 0. Now click stop, and see now clear interval set timeout. Let's do a console log over here. Console log. Oh, I see what's going on. So we have not changed this, so it's not even picking up on the right thing. So stop button. Console log stopped. Stooped. No, stopped. Save that. And now let's do this one more time. So 3, 2, 1, 0, click stop, and I hit stop, and we don't have anything displaying here. So we intercepted the timeout and we cleared it. We're like, oh, we don't need this anymore. For some cases where you're doing in JavaScript, you might not need to run something anymore, so you can intercept it and stop it completely. And yeah, this is literally everything you need to know about setInterval and setTimeout. This is more of a basic intro level to JavaScript, and it's super useful, especially in the beginning and later on when you start coding. So I hope everyone found this video helpful. If you did, show your support on the channel, and drop some comments whether what type of JavaScript concepts you want me to share, and I will do so. And in the meanwhile, I will see you until then. Peace.